everyone. Today's topic is hedge accounting. Hedge accounting is a method of managing risk by designating one or more hedging instrument so that their change in fair value is offset in a whole or in a part by a change in fair value or cash flow of a hedge item. So it's a method of managing risk by using hedging instrument by change in value or cash flow of a hedge item. Managing the risk by using hedging instruments by change in the fair value or cash flow of a hedge item. Now, what is a hedge item? Asset or liability that is exposed to risk is hedge item. There are three types. So asset and liability that is exposed to risk. And what are three types of hedge item? Recognized asset and liability, unrecognized firm commitment binding agreement, highly probable forecast transaction. So recognized asset and liability is simply like this is a car I own, this is my asset or this is my liability. I need to manage the exposure or managing the changes in fair value or cash flow. Unrecognized firm commitment binding agreement. For example, I want to buy a machine after 3 months, but now I have a binding agreement that I will be buying it after 3 months. And third is highly probable forecast transaction, like our machine is going to expire in a year's time. So it is a highly probable transaction that that particular machine is the entire of our business. We cannot survive without it. So it is highly probable transaction that is going to be that we are going to replace it no matter what, because it is the life of our business. So hedge item is an asset and liability that is exposed that exposes the entity to risk of change in the fair value of future cash flow and is designated as being hedged. There are three types of hedge item: a recognized asset or liability, unrecognized firm commitment, a binding agreement for the exchange of a specified quantity of resources as a specified price on a specified future date. Future quantity, specific price, specific quantity on a specified future date, but it is unrecognized firm commitment. Highly probable forecast transaction and uncommitted but anticipated future transaction. Now, hedging instrument. Hedging instrument is a designated derivative or a non-derivative financial asset or financial liability whose value or cash flow are expected to offset change in fair value or future cash flow of hedge item. This means a derivative or non-derivative financial asset or financial liability used to protect the hedge item. Hedge instrument is used to protect the hedge item. So hedging is the managing the exposure. Hedging is a method of managing the risk in changes in fair value or the cash flow of hedge item. Hedge item is the item that is exposed to a risk, that has certain level of risk. And hedging instrument is a derivative or non-derivative instrument used to protect hedge item. The perspective of derivative and hedge accounting. An entity has inventory of gold that costs 8 million and whose value have increased by 10 million. Entity is worried that the fair value of this inventory will fall, so it enters into a future contract to sell the inventory on 1st October 2001 to sell the inventory for $10 million in 6 months' time. By reporting date, the fair value of inventory had fallen by 1 million to 9 million. There was a 1 million increase in the fair value of derivative. In accordance with the IFRS 9, the $1 gain on the alternative will be recognized through profit and loss, like debit the derivative gain, credit the profit and loss. In accordance with the IS2, 1 million decline in inventory fair value will not be recognized because will not be recognized, but inventories are measured at lower of cost. NRV cost is 8 and NRV is 9 million, assuming no selling cost. The derivative created volatility in the profit and loss will also make earning per share volatile. This is important perspective. Potential investor may be deterred by this because they may assume that their dividend reserve will also be volatile. Although some investors are risk seeking, others prefer steady and predictable return. If entity had chosen to apply hedge accounting, this volatility would have been eliminated. So hedge accounting is used for two things. Either to manage the exposure, two type of exposures are being dealt in the hedge accounting. Either to manage the fair value exposure, changes in the fair value, or cash flow. So IFRS 9 identify three types of hedge. Three types of hedge. In reality, IFRS 9 identify three types of hedge. We will be discussing two types of hedge. First is fair value hedge. Second is cash flow hedge. Cash flow hedge. Fair value hedge, a hedge of the exposure to change in the fair value of a recognized asset or liability or an unrecognized firm commitment that is attributable to a particular risk and could affect profit and loss, other comprehensive income for equity instrument measured at fair value through OCI. Cash flow hedge, a hedge of the exposure to variability in the cash flow that is attributable to a particular risk associated with a recognized asset or liability or a highly probable forecast transaction that could affect profit and loss. So there is a criteria for hedge accounting to be applied, and the criteria is under the IFRS 9, hedge accounting rule can only be applied if the hedge relationship meets the following criteria. There are three criteria given. First is the hedge relationship consists of only eligible hedging instrument and hedge item. Means the company should be there should be eligible hedge instrument and hedge item. There are times when a company have defined that we will hedge only particular item and we will be using particular hedging instrument, not all. Like for example, we will only use forward, we will only use future, we will not use option, like this. So they should be eligible. The hedging relationship should consist of eligible hedge instrument and hedge item. Second is, at the inception of hedge, there must be a formal documentation identifying the hedge item and hedge instrument. Formal documentation of hedge instrument and hedge item. There should be a complete documentation. There include board approval and the contract of hedging instrument. The contract should be complete. It should be approved by the board. It should be approved by the shareholder. Means all the related documents should be completed. And the third is the hedging relationship meet all effectiveness requirement. This will be explained later. The hedge should be effective. Hedge should be effective means if you are taking a hedge item and a hedge instrument, so there should be some sort of relationship. Like if the previous example, if in a gold value have for example, value of gold was decreased, then you have a gain in derivative. So this is an effective $1 decrease and $1 increase in the value of gold. This is an effective relationship. However, the relationship could vary. Like there will be a 1.5 relationship, not in 100% relationship. So there is a time, but it should be effective. It should not be like that you're having loss at both, and it should not be like that. So to summarize the criteria for hedge accounting: eligible hedge item and hedge instrument, formal documentation identifying the hedge instrument, hedge item at the inception, and third, relationship should be effective. Let's discuss that there are derivatives. There are two types: for speculation, for a specific purpose. derivatives that are solely for speculation, there are measured through fair value through profit and loss, but there are derivatives that are purpose based. So how they will be treated? If hedge accounting criteria is met, then only hedge accounting can be applied. Derivatives that are purpose based, hedge accounting will or can be applied. Hedge item and instrument that fall in the scope of hedge accounting, then accounting of both will be done in a way that avoids accounting mismatch. Financial asset designated at fair value through OCI. Since OCI is an irrevocable election, then derivative accounting will change and derivative will be accounted as fair value counted as fair value through OCI to avoid accounting mismatch. This happens in investment equity. Hedge accounting concept is to eliminate the accounting mismatch between the hedge instrument and hedge item. No hedge accounting, then IS2 separately, and derivative accounting will be done separately. And accounting treatment of fair value hedge. At the reporting date, at the year end, the hedge instrument will be remeasured to fair value. Accounting treatment of fair value hedge. At the reporting date, hedge instrument will be remeasured to fair value. The carrying amount of hedge item will be adjusted for change in the fair value since the inception of hedge. The gain or loss on the hedging instrument and gain or loss on the hedge item will be recorded in the statement of profit and loss in most cases. In other comprehensive income, if hedge item is investment in equity measured at fair value through OCI. So accounting treatment of fair value hedges. Hedge instrument will be remeasured to fair value. Carrying amount of hedge item will be adjusted for change in value since the inception of hedge. Gain or loss will be recorded in P&L in most cases, but for investment in equity, investment in shares will be recorded at fair value through OCI. For cash, now accounting treatment of cash flow hedge. For cash flow hedge, the hedging instrument will be remeasured to fair value at the reporting date. The gain and loss is recognized in other comprehensive income. However, if the gain and loss on the hedging instrument since the inception of hedge is greater than the loss or gain on the hedge item, then excess gain and loss on the instrument must be recognized in profit and loss. Subsequent reporting about cash flow hedge. If the hedge item eventually result in recognition of financial If the hedge item eventually result in recognition of financial asset or financial. Subsequent reporting about cash flow hedge. If it is a non-financial item, non-financial asset or liability, any gain and loss on hedge instrument adjusts with the carrying amount of asset or liability, and it does not affect the other comprehensive income. Whereas in the case of a financial asset or financial liability, any gain on the hedge instrument is reclassified to profit and loss. Summarize all the hedge accounting, fair value hedge and cash flow hedge. I will be discussing and summarizing this all. In case of a fair value hedge, there is a recognized liability or unrecognized firm commitment at the reporting date. Hedge item and hedge instrument both will be reported and they will be reported normally at fair value through profit and loss. In rare cases, fair value through OCI. In case of hedge item valued at fair value through OCI, shares only, investment in share. And in case of cash flow hedge, either it's a recognized asset or unrecognized asset or liability reported at the year end. Hedge instrument is only reported. Fair value through OCI movement till the hedge item excess go to income statement. And the topic is hedge effectiveness. Hedge accounting can only be used if hedge relationship meet all the effectiveness. So, hedge accounting can only be used if hedging relationship meet all the effectiveness requirement. In example, so far it has been assumed that this is the case. According to IFRS 9, an entity must first assess at the inception of hedging relationship and at each reporting date whether the hedging relationship meet the hedge effectiveness requirement. The assessment should be forward-looking. The hedge effectiveness requirements are as follows. There are 3 requirements. The first is there must be an economic relationship between the hedge item and hedge instrument. For example, if the price of shares fall below the $10, the fair value of future contract to sell the share for $10 rises. There should be a negative correlationship between the hedge item and hedge instrument. If the value of hedge item increases, then the value of hedge instrument should decrease. There should be a negative correlation. If the price of shares fall below the 10, the fair value of future contract to sell the share for $10 rises. The second is the effect of credit risk does not dominate the value of changes that result from economic relationship. The credit risk should not dominate the economic relationship. Credit risk may lead to erratic fair value movement in either the hedge item or hedge instrument. For example, if the counterparty of a derivative experiences a decline in credit worthiness, the fair value of derivative hedge instrument may fall substantially. This movement is unrelated to change in fair value of item and would lead to hedge ineffectiveness. Then the third criteria is or requirement is the hedge ratio of hedging relationship is same as that resulting from the quantity of hedge item and the entity actually hedge and the quantity of hedge instrument that entity actually used to hedge that quantity of hedge item. This means hedge relationship should continue on quantified matters. So, what is discontinuing hedge accounting? An entity may cease hedge accounting if any of the following occur. The hedge instrument expire or is exercised, sold or terminated. The hedge no longer meet the hedging criteria. And the third, the forecast future transaction that qualified as a hedge item is no longer highly probable. The discontinuance should be accounted for prospectively. Entries should be posted to date are not revised. Upon discontinuing a cash flow hedge, the treatment of the accumulated gain or losses on hedge instrument within the reserve depend on the reason for discontinuation. IFRS 9 says if forecast transaction is no longer expected to occur, gain or losses recognized in other comprehensive income must be taken to profit or loss immediately. Secondly, if the transaction is still expected to occur, the gain or losses will retain in the equity until the former hedge transaction occur.